Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to today's Cuppa with Katie. I'm back. I was offline last week. I wasn't well. Feeling a lot better this week. Did the COVID test. Apparently wasn't COVID, isn't COVID. So I think it was just life inviting me to slow down, and it continues to, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I don't know about you, but for me, historically, December is a time to wind down. December is a time to drop down a few gears. For me personally, whether you agree with this or not, it's up to you, but I'd love to know as you're joining. Hey Ksenia, how you doing, darling? Nice to see you. What about for you, Ksenia? How does December feel for you? Is it a time for kind of like downing tools? Or is it time for ramping things up? I mean, I think the energy is, with Christmas coming, I think the energy for a lot of people can begin to feel a bit frenetic and a bit like, oh, there's a lot to do, there's a lot to buy, there's a lot to organize. And interestingly, I'm seeing amongst my clients that even though this Christmas is going to be different to many, there's still that kind of like frantic energy. And we have a choice in that. And that's what I wanted to bring to today's conversation, today's Cuppa with Katie. Is this idea of choice and desire. So, like, you know, the song, one of my favorite Christmas songs is Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. Love that song, like love it. It always brings tears to my eyes. I can't listen to it enough. That and basically Michael Bublé's entire Christmas album. Love that too. Let me just put this down. But the dog's getting way too close to the fire. Oops. But yeah, what do you want for Christmas? All I want for Christmas is. And I want to focus today's quick chat, it will be quick, on desire and what are you desiring? And particularly around this time of year, particularly around this month and around the holidays coming. So whether you celebrate Christmas or not, for most of us, it seems to be a time of family and celebration. I personally believe it's a time for slowing down, and yet there's this tendency to be speeding up and like revving up and gearing up for something and feeling pressure. And I kind of want to invite you to like take the pressure off yourselves a little bit and relax into the holiday season. This is my dog here is very relaxed. He's always relaxing. Good boy, Booms. I had a client comment in one of my groups this morning about how she felt like Christmas was this tsunami wave coming at her. And so I invited her into considering how does she desire to feel instead, because it can become a habit that something like Christmas feels like this tidal wave coming at you, and it can feel like a habit that you have to kind of up your energy and get organized and plan lots and be all things for all people and show up everywhere and make the most of it and buy everything and it becomes just too much. So how do you desire to feel instead? And so I've invited her into that question. I'm waiting to hear her response, and I'm sure she'll watch this. Hi Amber, good to see you, thank you. I'm feeling a lot better this week. And so I feel like this month is a really, really, really important time to connect in with your desire. Now, it could be about Christmas. It could be how do you desire to feel this Christmas? So instead of dealing with it in the habitual way that you always have and kind of buying into the frantic energy of it and the keeping up appearances of it and the commercialism of it, or whatever it is about this time of year that brings you stress and discomfort and lack of ease, what do you choose instead? How do you desire it to be? Do you need to redefine this time of year for yourself? Are you ready for that? I mean, like I was saying in the beginning, I'm all about going slower in December, and I have to very consciously do that as well. So last week when I was unwell, it was a real sign to me that I hadn't put anything in place in my diary to ring fence and make sure that this month was an opportunity for me to go slow and down tools. And I could feel myself actually revving up and getting busy, but that's actually not my desire, and that's not what I really want. And I had to get sick last week to stop, and then to remember and realize that I need to create the space for myself. I need to ring fence the space for myself. So I sat down this morning and I wrote the question in my journal. This has been my journaling practice today. It's like, what do I desire this month? How do I desire to feel this month? How can I create that for myself? Rather than just get swept away by, like my client said, this tidal wave of the Christmas holidays coming at her. Like, I don't desire to feel that. And I don't have that experience around the holidays. I don't, it's just not my experience. I feel more relaxed about it than that. And I needed to create some space in my diary today to just take a holiday. Like, you know, I've actually blocked the last couple of weeks of December as total holiday. I hadn't done that yet. I know I need that. I know that in the next week or so leading into that 2-week holiday, I need to like cull my calendar and only do what feels really good, only do what I've promised. Otherwise, I'm not available, because that's what I know I need. So I guess today I'm inviting you to check in with yourself. What do you desire for yourself this month? What would feel good for you? How could you create that for yourself? Get intentional about it rather than getting swept along by life. Does that make sense? So that's really my super simple, is it simple? Invitation to you today. To just check in with you. What's this month about for you? What do you need? What do you desire? Maybe what do you need to redefine? How can you create that for yourself? And just take out a little bit of time to consider that question for yourself and actually put some practical bits and bobs and solutions in place to create an experience for yourself that you desire to have. You know, self-love is self-responsibility. It invites us to live intentionally. It invites us to live consciously. I don't want you being swept along by life and feeling like you're on some kind of treadmill that you have no control over. Yeah, you do have some level of charge over your life. You know, they, of course, like, there's this importance of connecting with your desire and asking yourself, how can I create what I desire, and putting what you can in place to have that happen. And then there's a surrender and a letting go and an allowing for life to happen as it's meant to happen for you. So it's a surrender, you know, without expectation or attachment to how it has to go. But do your best, put certain plans in place, and then allow the magic of the universe and life and God to support you. Yeah? So for me, like I said, December is a time for winding down, calming down, easing into things, reflecting on the year that's just gone, so that I can move into a space of being really connected with myself, with what this year's been about for me, and then focusing forward and being really intentional about creating the kind of year I want to have next year. And I'm going to be talking more about that soon, because next week I'm running a free 90-minute workshop, which is 2020 reflection workshop. So we're going to get together on Wednesday next week. I'll tell you more about it. But we'll all come together in this really super practical workshop where we'll actually reflect on the year, so that we can get ready in January to start planning and getting intentional and creative for the year ahead without attachment. Because I can tell you right now that what I planned for 2020, 80% of it didn't happen, you know, and that might be the case for you. So there's an element of just feeling into that and surrendering to that on another level, so that we can create for 2021. But anyway, that's another conversation. I'll talk to you more about it later. For now, I invite you to connect in with what you desire for December and how you could create that for yourself. And you're welcome, Amber. I'm glad it's good advice. It's just something to think about, right? It's called, you know, this is all about living consciously and intentionally. It's important. So from my lounge room and my yummy fireplace, which I spend a lot of time in front of at the moment with the dog, I'm sending you a lot of love And I would love to hear in the comments, like, what would you like to create for yourself this month? How do you want to feel? You know, what do you desire, and how are you going to make that happen for yourself? Yeah, I would love to read. I'd love to know. So if you're watching the replay of this, please comment underneath and let me know. Okay, so here's to a great December, and here's to downing tools and easing into the holiday season. Lots of love. Bye.